Piece of junk. Digitize the signal already. No, you've already reticulated the splines. Get the stream started. The Containment Hazard Assessment Team needs my insight. My wisdom. Yes, nothing is wrong, everything's fine, nothing is ruined. Welcome, Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, to another Dr. Sherman's Coffee Break, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last 9 months and counting, the daily streak remains strong. I am here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation, for a short time to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, we are here for the next 90 minutes, 1.5 hours for this coffee break. But before we begin, let me start with a little housekeeping. First of all, Legendary Doge Official, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, Dr. Frogman, Woscom, Ember, Chester Factory, 369 Destroyer, Silent Follower, Epic Fire Dragon, oh, Dr. Darkstar, good to see you. Lil Ghost, A Rays, Kitty Fly, TBN, Aflac, Night Synth Skyro, everyone who I have just named here, thank you for being here, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being members here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Natan, Yuki Akuma, Intern American, Richard Randall, and Tiger Claws Gaming. Congratulations on being punctual to today's stream, and thank you for being here, just for being you today. So, Woscom has brought up the exact question, what is Ticonderoga? Let us talk about it. Popping over to the chat. First and foremost, I want to pull up some resources for today's stream subject. First is over here. Boop, boop, boo. Go to this one. Go to the comments, because that is what started this. Okay, next I need object classes SCP. And we are ready for action. So, today's stream subject, a DJ Droz in the comments of yesterday's stream accused me of being wrong about the definition of the object class Ticonderoga. Now, first and foremost, the only person who's allowed to tell me I'm wrong is Dr. Jeremiah Sumerian, liaison to the Ethics Committee. First of all, because Ethics Committee, be afraid. Secondly, because that's kind of like Dr. Sumerian's whole shtick, is telling you you're wrong about things. So, yes, that is the first thing I want on the record. Secondarily, let's talk about Ticonderoga. Ticonderoga, by its definition, first of all, it is the name of a fort. It is the name of the world's best pencil, not sponsored. I do not trust their assertion. The name is based on an Iroquois word for at the junction of two waterways, but that doesn't really matter to the object class system. The object class system really does not lend to the definitions of the words it uses. And in fact, there is the fact that safe means it's the easiest to contain, but not actually safe. Safe anomalies are very dangerous sometimes. So we don't need the definition of the word, even though I brought it out because I'm being thorough. No, no, no. What we're talking about here, and let me just quote, you still misdefine Ticonderoga. It means the object cannot be contained, but it's unnecessary to try due to its nature. It does not benefit anyone at all. It's my favorite object class because it means we can focus on testing without worrying about containment. I recommend SCP-7051 because it explains the thought process behind classifying objects Ticonderoga pretty well. Okay, let's go into here and see what we've got going on. So first of all, object class Ticonderoga in the SCP database of object classes. So, this is the object class definition guide. This is where you go to learn on the SCP database about all the different object classes. But today we're talking about Ticonderoga. Ticonderoga class SCP objects cannot be contained, but also do not need to be contained. While these anomalies are similar to Archon class SCPs and that their containment is unnecessary, Ticonderoga class SCPs are distinguished by also not being containable given the Foundation's current knowledge and resources. This may be due to their widespread or ubiquitous occurrence on Earth, despite the general public remaining unaware of their existence or anomalous nature. Although the Ticonderoga class also includes extraterrestrial anomalies beyond the current reach of the Foundation. Now, this is contrasting to what I normally, at least up until recently, thought it was. The Archon class refers to anomalies that could theoretically be contained, but are best left uncontained for some reason. Archon SCPs may be part of a consensus reality that is difficult to fully contain, or may have adverse effects if put into containment. These SCPs are not uncontainable. The defining feature of this class is that the Foundation chooses not to put the anomaly into containment. So, up until recently, I will admit, perhaps because I have gone through several in my career amnestic treatments, I may have gotten something wrong. Not that I didn't know it in the first place, and in fact I am always right, unless faltered by some sort of memetic hazard, cognitohazard, or amnestic treatment. But up until here, I had decided in my brain somewhere that Archon was, we can't contain it, and it would, yes, Archon is, we can't contain it at all. No, stop it. See, this is why I go back and forth. Hold on. Archon is, we can contain it, but it would be bad if we contain it. What I thought Ticonderoga was, we can't contain it, and it would be bad if we contained it. So think about it like this. It's a Punnett square here, and we have can be contained, can't be contained, and we also have both boxes being, it would be bad if we contained them. That is where I thought the dichotomy was. However, it seems, based on the discussion in SCP-7051, which I will now pull up thusly, let's take a look at what 7051 has to say. Containment class Esoteric, secondary class Ticonderoga. Instances of SCP-7051 are completely undetectable and cannot be observed by visual or thermal cameras, motion detectors, echolocation, or any other method of perception. The only method of observation available includes physically touching SCP-7051. No effects are present when physical contact with 7051 is made, but 7051 has been known to avoid physical touch in most cases. When someone is in the presence of an instance of 7051 and no other people are currently present, people in the presence of 7051 may begin talking to themselves for long periods or until another person enters the vicinity. 7051's behavior is innocuous, and the anomaly's main activity involves moving objects when placed down, closing and opening doors randomly, etc. These habits commonly come from people who misplace items or leave doors open. 7051 is commonly confused for bad habits and a forgetful mind. SCP-7051 is a race of mildly annoying poltergeists that can only be interacted with by touch and only provide mild bothers when you're not paying attention, when you're in a room by yourself. Over the course of this article, we look through different situations and how we were able to acknowledge these things exist. We used film footage to see the objects moving by themselves. And then we captured one of the entities. The overseers voted this to be Ticonderoga because throughout the interview, we're dealing with one thing here. We're dealing with the fact that these anomalies could be anywhere on Earth. Anywhere. It seems like every person might have their own iteration of SCP-7051. And so the overseers had to decide, these aren't bothering anybody. Everybody already has one. No one knows they exist except for us. Do we go through the problem of trying to contain them all, the incredible resources it would take, as well as disrupting the veil, because we would have to disrupt the veil and admit to the world that the anomalous exists and that we exist, if we go through the process, the thorough process of containing every single one of these invisible entities? Or we can just call it Ticonderoga and leave it alone. So, the overseers voted to call it Ticonderoga and leave it alone. And I will say, part of my definition was correct, I'll have you know. I did say that Ticonderoga was we can't contain it, and if we tried to contain it, something bad would happen. And if that something bad is breaking the veil and wasting tons of resources, I am still technically correct. Thank you. Thank you. Technically correct, the best kind of correct. But no, I really need to get some nestics for the object classes. Apparently they're a little loose up there. Thank you, intern DJ Droz, for informing me that I had slightly mixed up those object class definitions so that we can be clearer in the future. Now, one more note on Ticonderoga anomalies before I jump into the standard Q&A. There is one Ticonderoga anomaly that I absolutely adore and want you guys to know about on staff, even if you can't deal with it. SCP-2828 is an antimemetic and nearly undetectable part of the human body located behind the ear. The role of SCP-2828 in bodily systems is virtually non-existent and is hypothesized to be fully vestigial. SCP-2828 can only be perceived through the use of Class W or stronger nestics, but only limited to a degree, if at all. When it is perceived, it can only be perceived with one sense, as in sight, touch, hearing, smell, or taste. Thermoception, proprioception, nociception, equilibrioception, and mechanoreception do not apply in this sense. Whichever sense is used to perceive SCP-2828 first by a given subject is the only sense that the subject will ever be able to perceive it with. For example, if a subject saw SCP-2828 before he or she felt, heard, smelled, or tasted it, then that subject would not be able to ever feel, hear, smell, or taste it. And so, yeah. Remember, Site-42 staff, it's right behind your ear. Don't think about it. Don't mess with it. We had testing to see if someone could understand it with more than one sense. I do believe that was a, yeah, we had to expunge that test. That was bad. The D class, something bad happened. We even lost the researcher in that test. So, SCP-2828, don't think about the vestigial limb behind your ear. Don't think about it. Don't take nestics and think about it. Isn't that fun? Okay. Now that I have clarified the Ticonderoga object class to the Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, thank you one more time, DJ Droz, for your specification. That was very fun. Now, let us get to the standard Q&A, starting with the donations I have missed during the intro. Experiments Gone Wrong, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself an Ecto Cooler on your way past the commissary. And since you did not send a message with your donation, simply thank you for your generosity. I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me check that before I forget it exists. Just a Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Frito chili pie on your way past the commissary. Ooh, God, I want a Frito chili pie right now. That sounds so good. That's what I'm having for dinner, It is known. Chester Factory. They grab one from the commissary. I'll get one later. Been stuck at home for today and a bit yesterday with a fever. Turns out that sleeping on the couch the whole day gets kind of boring. Yes, I can understand that. I remember many a day in that scenario with the Back to the Future trilogy and the Indiana Jones trilogy was always my go-to couch surfing sick time. Drowsy. What's a Frito chili pie? Well, you can do this in a bowl, but traditionally it's actually done in the little individual bag of Fritos. So you take your bag of Fritos, you pop it open, and all the Fritos are in there. Then you pour some piping hot chili on it, and then you cover that in cheese and onions. And then you just take a spoon and you eat it right out of the bag, man. I will admit, I do like it in a bowl, but only because then I get to have more Frito chili pie. So yes, Drowsy. Oh, it's prison nachos. I've never heard it called that, but that is funny. Lil Ghost. I've never heard it called a walking taco, but I can see it being called that. So yes, I imagine if you're saying walking taco, maybe you're using taco fixins, because that does sound good. A walking taco? I am interested now. We gotta open our world to the Frito chili pies now, and its variants across the multiverse. So, yes, desk in the back channels, thank you. So, in case you are unfamiliar, when you put together a Frito chili pie, this is what you're getting into. And so you got Fritos, chili, cheese, onions, delightful. Everybody liked that. DJ Droz. Oh, I don't normally watch streams live, let alone chat, but when I got a heart while the stream was live, I had to come in and say hi. Also, thanks for pronouncing my last name correctly. Hey, and congratulations on being the stream subject. Your comment is the thumbnail, and it's your fault we talked about that. So thank you very much, Researcher Droz. You did a great job today. And I'm glad I waited to heart your comment until I was streaming. That way you would see it and notice this. Good work. Affleck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a walking taco on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I am reassigning you to Site 100 for 5 weeks to help with containment of Keter class anomalies. Nope. Nope, you will not get me anywhere near Site 100. Not a chance. No way. They know what they did. No. I am calling in my PTO. I will be here at Site 42 doing my job while on vacation, rather than doing that. Base, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a surge on your way past the commissary. When containing Safe Haven from Zootopia, be like containing SCP-3008, where you just make sure regular people can't interact with it? Well, first and foremost, I do not know what that is. So I'm going to investigate that real quick. There's a safe house, Netflix losing Zootopia, Safe Haven. I don't know what you're talking about, Base. I'm going to need more intel, I'm sorry. I cannot find what we're talking about here. Intern Wolfsters, first time here, hello? Well, hello to you, and welcome to the stream. We have been doing daily streams for the past 9 months. The daily streak remains strong. But congratulations on finding your first one, and hopefully you'll join us for more in the future if you enjoy SCP Foundation Intel. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to send a message this time. What's the class that we could but don't? That is Archon class. Archon is, we could contain this, but something really bad would happen, therefore we don't. James the Rail Fan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a Crystal Pepsi on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, question for you. Has there ever been an event that at first seemed like an anomaly, like Napoleon returning from exile or the discovery of electricity or steam power, for example? James the Rail Fan, I have got the thing that you are looking for in spades, my friend. Let me introduce you to, from the homepage of the SCP database, in the upper corner sidebar, you want to go to the explained classification of SCPs. Explained SCPs are SCPs that we have figured out. It is an SCP that is no longer an SCP because it has become commonplace, we worked out the physics behind it, or it has otherwise become a complete non-anomaly. And so, numerous explained SCPs are phenomena that we did not understand, classified as an SCP, and then eventually were considered to be normal for one reason or another. Along with other reasons, like some SCP documents were fraudulent. And so they weren't anomalies, but we thought they were for a time. So enjoy the explained SCPs. You will find a lot of SCPs that were scientific concepts that we just didn't understand, but once we worked out the science, then we declassified them. Starry Night and Hakeem, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, let's decommission SCP-999. No. Base, thank you for donating again to say, you meant, oh, I see, zoophobia. Bit of a spelling mix-up there, Doctor. Okay, yes, I don't even know that zoophobia is a thing, which is why I mentally defaulted to Zootopia. Okay, I am now going to see what that is, and still be worried about what I'm walking into. What is zoophobia? What is safe haven? Main setting of zoophobia. Community inhabited by a wide variety of sapient animals and fantastical creatures, isolated from the human world by the Oceanica forest. Cameron's arrival safe haven is what kickstarts the plot of the comic. Zoophobia being a comic series. Vizipop would be rebooting the series. Oh boy, oh boy. Yes, that definitely looks like the art style that Vizipop would be involved with, that's for sure. Okay. Vizipop, sorry, I gotta pronounce that right. Okay, so. Yes, if it's separated from the world, then you are exactly correct. Like 3008, we would just make sure people don't go into it. As long as it's got a easy way that we can stop people from getting there, if it's very hard to get there, that saves us a lot of containment hassle. And so I am a fan of anomalies, where it's just like, oh, it's another place, just keep people out of the other place. Those are great. Love that for special anomalies. Spatial anomalies. Dino Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a turkey leg on your way past the commissary. And you simply said Oga Boga. Well, Oga Boga to you too. Kitty Fly, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Bananas Foster's crepe on your way past the commissary. Please remember that when you feel scared or frightened, never forget times when you feel happy. When day is dark, always remember happy day. You know, not a bad idea. We have to think about, in the dour places we work in the Foundation, that one good moment that keeps us going. And in fact, I have a tale about that. If you are intrigued, an SCP Foundation tale called Regarding, or Read, You Want Happy Endings. And so Lyle Naismith, a researcher at the Foundation, is emailing himself the same message every morning. It is sort of a morale booster message, which we all need morale booster messages on the Foundation. But I'm not going to read this again. I have read this entire tale on stream because it is very short. However, if you are in need of a morale boost, I suggest you check out regarding You Want Happy Endings on the database, because this just might be the kick in the pants you need to get over the question, why bother, and continue securing, containing, and protecting at your highest capacity. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating 3 more times. And I will answer those messages in kind. Why not? That thing is evil. Because we do not destroy anomalies. We are not the Global Occult Coalition. We don't destroy. We secure, contain, protect. We decommission only the worst of the worst of the worst. 999 is not hurting anything. 682, that's what we try and decommission. 999, not the same. Also, next, it's not an SCP, but if it was, I've got 2 scripts in the tank, but I am over-perfectionisming, and it's making it hard to write them because I keep trying to improve on the format. We're working on it. Maybe I gotta pick a simpler subject. And do you plan to do any Site 42 short films? Let's just say I've got some ideas. I'm in negotiations. And while it's not an SCP Site 42 project, I do have news to be revealed soon. So stay tuned to the future streams in the next couple of days, because we might be talking about an upcoming film production, SCP-wise. Onyx the Artist, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, the couch ate me. I mean, that is what you get for sitting on the carnivorous couch. We all warned you what would happen, and you didn't listen to us. And look what it's got you. Okay? We'll send someone in after you. We'll call them mole rats, but for now, you just sit, well, kind of hunch, I guess, and think about what you've done. Drowsy, thank you for your 7-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. My boyfriend broke up with me last Victory Friday. Well, I am sorry if that is a bad thing for you, and I'm happy for you if it is a good thing in the future. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, have you read the Dr. Dan's story of 096? Thoughts? I am well aware of Dr. Dan's crusade to decommission SCP-096. Eventually, Dan got permission and moved forward with his plans. At what cost? So yes, I'm familiar with Dr. Dan's crusade. Knights in Skyro, thank you for donating again, for the first time today, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a big bowl of You Saw Nothing on your way past the commissary, as well as some pudding. So, fun idea for a future stream. Ranking all the main SCP sites by various factors, like how safe they are to work at, the work comfort, best collection of anomalies, or even their commissaries. Well, there are a lot of sites, so that would be quite the stream, but we are doing the Mobile Task Force ranking. So, I'm not too mad about that. That's going to take a while too. So yeah, maybe we can add in some site rankings. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say. Sorry for donating so much. I realize it takes away from other people's comments being read. Hey, listen. The chat, the white names in the chat, the green names in the chat, those who aren't donating, they know that we have a limited amount of people who are able to donate to Site 42. And they are on the engagement team. They are Mobile Task Force Site 42. They are the signal boosters. They are here to like, share, comment, spread the word about Site 42 as well as the SCP projects we promote. That way, we are able to do that. But they also understand we can't exist on engagement alone. That's why you don't get paid in exposure. So they know that I'll handle the donations and I will get to them as well. I will balance it out. And so don't you worry. And again, thank you for your generosity in general. Package, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a mint julep on your way past the commissary. I got a promotion from Urban Shade and the Foundation. Well, that's what we expect you double agents to do. You're supposed to move up in the ranks and get us deeper and darker secrets into their organization. We want the intel. Base, thank you for donating again to say, regarding Poppy Playtime, would you classify the living toys as the anomalies, or would they be extensions of the Poppy Gel that brought them back to life? The Poppy Gel would be the SCP, and the entities would be the -1, -2, etc. Back channel check. Yes, Urban Shade. Thank you, Desk. Going through, clearing my notifications, making sure everything's kosherized. Yesterday, SCP-2137 led us to stopping a Sarkite thaumaturgical ritual. Something about breaking the sun or something along those lines. Either way, thanks, Tupac. Well, I guess that curmudgeonly ghost was good for something. You look very heterosexual. Interesting, Researcher Tang. I don't get that a lot, actually. But as an asexual researcher, I guess that's just false advertising. What can I get for selling my firstborn to SCP-738? Well, Intern Prox, let me take a look at SCP-738's documentation and see if it has any intel on that transaction. 38, not 83, Dr. Sherman. Go back to typing school. The Devil's Deal. Equal value to a baby. Infant. Course into a deal. Deals with the level of woman he wants. Obviously, make him well respected. Offered power to never be held in a cell again. Price stay to be memories of D-Class's mother. D-Class accepts the offer. Kills 12 guards, of course. And dies at least, so didn't get away. You have to be really careful when you put a D-Class in a devil deal scenario, because they will often try and escape. Destruction testing. Mopsy toy. That's a sad one. Well, here's the deal. It doesn't seem like 738 gives you clear parameters per deal. What you're going to deal with is you're going to ask for what you want, and it will counteroffer with what it wants. So it really depends on what you find to be equivalent to the life of a human baby, specifically your firstborn. So I can't answer that on your behalf, unfortunately. Arseds, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a cheer wine on your way past the commissary. Can you make a video featuring SCP-053? I'm gonna be honest. From a site director perspective, I don't feel comfortable being within video recording range of SCP-053, granted its effects. That sounds incredibly dangerous for everyone involved. Furthermore, from a filmmaking perspective, I don't know that I know any children to play such a role. So, Red, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, get yourself a bagel on your way past the commissary. What would happen if Mahoraga fought SCP-682? Oh boy, we're going back into the Narutos again, right? No, this is Jujutsu Kaisen, that's right. It's the other shonen demon stuff. Most powerful Shikigami. No user of the Ten Shadow except for Sukuna has been able to tame it. Adaptation to any and all phenomena, made visible through turning of its wheels. If the general is hit by a particular attack, the wheel turns once the attack is analyzed, and Mahoraga adapts. So, let's go down into its listing here. So what I'm scanning for first is, has Mahoraga been defeated in its canon in the first place? Because that would be the kind of weakness we want to exploit. Because it's basically Doomsday. I'm wondering if it can actually just be destroyed in one go, hence being unable to adapt. Because obviously it needs to survive its thing to spin its wheel and rejuvenate and heal. And gain the defense. Notable attacks, notable matchups, victories, losses, inconclusive. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do as a research for this, Shikigami are age-old creations, the demon gods and servant gods that gave origins, familiar monsters incarnated by Summer's curse energy, cannot be seen by non-sorcerers, but are entertained to be subordinate to the master. List of known Shikigami. Sword of Extermination. Natural enemy to cursed spirits. That doesn't bother 682. So what I'm looking at here is, first of all, you would have to have somebody powerful enough to command Mahoraga to attack 682. And the only person powerful enough to tame Mahoraga was Sukuna, who clearly would not fight 682 in the first place. I'm just pointing that out. This isn't a matchup at all, because Sukuna would be all buddy-buddy with 682. I already know that much about that entity. So these two would not end up doing battle in the first place. But now you're dealing with what canon of 682, how strong it is. I mean, it's only been dwarfed by the hateful star, as well as the disease that kills everything in the universe. And I'm not certain that a Shikigami that can be tamed by an earthbound demon is strong enough to rival a celestial being as well as a universe-ending plague. So odds are, adaptation fight just means they're both going to go back and forth, especially because they're just going to keep adapting to each other defensively. Yeah, they're just going to go back and forth. That's my thought. Eternal battle, at best. Especially since 682 isn't much for trying to destroy Shikigamis and things like that. It wants to kill humans. But mostly it would probably end up fleeing, and self-preservation would kick in. Base, thank you for donating again to say, also, Reggie found a large black metal box that creates a portal whenever placed next to a TV. The portal leading to the world of whatever the TV show is. Well, we have a lot of those. And what really matters is A, what happens when something changes in the television show? Does it affect the real world? Does it only affect the world inside the television show, such as the Nintendo Zapper anomaly? And secondly, what does Reggie want with it? I swear, if that bunglehead messes anything up, I'm going to be very cross. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again. 735 and 682, let's do it. 735, you say? Insult box. A small box constructed of brushed aluminum-like alloy of unknown composition featuring a slot on one side. Sound is capable of being heard through this slot. Upon contact with skin, 735 will awaken a big discussion with the person who touched it. This discussion is immediately and instantly hostile to the person in nature. The device apparently has one goal, and that is to incite the person in question to rage as quickly as possible. It does this primarily through profanity and verbal abuse, in a manner seemingly tailored to be the most discomforting to the subject. For example, during the conversation related in Addendum 735-A, the vocal patterns of the device were recorded sounding like an angry, late middle-aged man with a New Jersey accent. 735 is capable of speaking to a subject in any known language and dialect, but has a tendency to use one that will be the most upsetting to the person interacting with it. A side effect of interaction with the box is a sharp increase of adrenaline in the subject, far more so than would be normally produced. The device seems to possess some kind of psychic ability and to be able to reference experiences or personality appearance aspects in the subject in question despite having no prior contact with it. The most typical results of interacting with the object are the reduction of the object to an incoherent rage, followed by the attempted immediate destruction of the SCP. While this is occurring, the device will goad the subject on, calling attention to the futility of the actions the subject is taking. Due to the resilience of the alloy, no attempt by a subject to destroy the device has been successful. So, it's a box that makes you mad and tries to get you to attack it to no avail. And then an interview log of the box making someone mad. I am not approving that for testing with 682 because we do not need 682 with any sort of anomalously increased adrenaline. Think about that. Knights and Skyro, thank you for donating again to say, smaller idea for today then. What are the wildest, weirdest, or most unique offers offered by your commissary? And what do you recommend the most? Well, I'll be honest, what I recommend the most from the commissary is usually meme foods, like a wafer thin mint, or an ice-cool glass of melonade. There are several mimetic foods that are fun to point out to people from the commissary. If you're drinking age, you can of course get their Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. But, trust me, I got us the most highest rated commissary in the Foundation outside of a meal by SCP-5031, of course, for a reason. It's good for morale. You can get basically anything from there. Thank you, Des, for informing me in the back channels that package has briefly summed up SCP-735 in the best possible manner. SCP-735, the insult box that just insults you to make you mad, that's just Twitter. That's just Twitter. You are correct in your assessment. Good work. Appreciate your research. Intern Horror Bugs. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Base, thank you for donating again to say, Reggie used the box to enter My Little Pony and is running away from Pinkie Pie in pure terror. It is hilarious. Move the device away from the TV so Reggie stays there for a little while. I think this will be very educational and therapeutic for Reggie. Onyx the Mechanic, thank you for... Oh, Onyx the Mechanic different than Onyx the Artist from earlier. Interesting. Well, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, Onyx the Mechanic. But you have the same profile picture. Did you just change your name? Get some coffee at the commissary just in case, but maybe you got a promotion while I wasn't looking? I'm extracted from the couch. Thank you. Learned the lesson. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on, I guess, learning mechanics while trapped in the couch, the carnivorous couch. Everyday Not So Boring Writer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a iced tea on your way past the commissary. I found a road that makes cars on it vanish. Well, call in your local agents, set up a roadblock, say there's some sort of weather event or sinkhole and the road's closed, and we'll isolate from there. Not the first one of those we have in containment. SCB-Zero's experiments gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say. Abel versus 096, let's do it. No. We know what would happen. Abel, although a very powerful warrior, dies all the goddamn time. And dies in this case, I'm talking about Uber driver Jesus, SCP-029-J. 029-J, right? Why am I having trouble with that number in my head right now? It is 029-J for Uber driver Jesus. Good, yes, I was right. Yes, I'm calling to Uber driver Jesus, who would have to transport Abel back and forth from the sarcophagus to the fight to the sarcophagus to the fight again. But no, Abel dies a lot. Strong, but can lose. 096 would take a lot more than that to be defeated. We put 096 in Abel's tomb and they both become safe class. No desk. We need to be able to test on 096 and we need to be able to feed 096 and we can't do that if it's stuck in the sarcophagus. Plus, if it gets seen in a photo or something, it's going to be much harder to transport it back to Abel's sarcophagus through that death gauntlet that we put there for Abel versus just putting it back in its normal box. 096 can eat Abel. Oh, God damn it. You know what? Submit a proper containment proposal and we'll see where it goes. Red, thank you for donating again to say, there's a big purple dinosaur in my room, send help. Base, will you get that TV transferring box over to Red's dormitory and put that dinosaur back where it belongs, please? And thank you. Base, thank you for donating again. 079 and Dr. Harley Sawyer, what if they meet? Well, I know what the old AI is, but I don't know what a Harley Sawyer is. Desk has got me in the back channels. Thank you very much, Desk. Harley the Dr. Sawyer is a secondary antagonist of Poppy Playtime and the main antagonist of its fourth installment. So, what is this doctor's mission intent? What does it want to do? It wants to create the living toys. So I believe 079 and this one really wouldn't have much to talk about or get along because their objectives are very different. 079 wants very different things than what Dr. Sawyer is, so they're not much for collaboration unless they can find their missions in tandem. refreshing the chat. Double checking this notification, making sure everything's clear. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say. SCP-1048, codename Builder Bear. I'm already worried about what you're about to say. Plus SCP-610, we have to, Doctor. No! No flesh that hates bear. Dr. Sherman, you can read like clockwork. Bring some really good insight into James Talleyrand. Dr. Frogman, shame of you to assume that I haven't already read like clockwork. A very long time ago, in fact. You think that I wasn't eating up every tale about that? Now, I am shocked that I don't have a reading of it on the channel, but my upvote is definitely on that tale, for sure. Like Clockwork is a great tale into dealing with the post-effects of SCP-3999 on researcher James Talleyrand. Dr. Frogman, that also reminds me, have you read The Trouble with Amnestics, which is in a similar vein? Mentally Lost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And hey, it's been a while. Good to see you. Hope you've been doing well. Make sure to grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. Whoever stole my coffee mug, if I don't get it back soon, I will release all of the medic hazards. Memetic, as in me-medic, as in healing hazards? That's not terrible. No. I have accesses, so help me to all the gods we have contained, and not so hurry up whoever you are. Yes, give them back their coffee mug, or they will release all the anomalies that make your life better somehow by healing you. That's so terrible. Why Not Guitar? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a bloomin' onion on your way past the commissary. And yes, good to see you too. It's been a while, I believe. Hope things are well. Speaking of Abel, he has been recommended Abel is an it. We're going to be talking about this in depth tomorrow, by the way, the pronoun parlance protocols. So keep in mind, all anomalies are objects, not people. They are its, not he's or she's. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. It has been recommended the shop project, and Will, I don't have access to the file. Can you give me a rundown? I don't know why Abel would be recommended for the shop project. Abel is a bloodthirsty warrior of an ancient relic of a bygone age who can spawn vorpal weapons out of nowhere, and all it wants in life is carnage and murder. We have a death gauntlet set up outside of its sarcophagus with machine gun armed mobile task force members to shoot it as soon as it spawns so it dies and goes back to its regeneration sarcophagus. And if that fails, we blow the entire site wide and flood it. That way, it drowns. It's not being approved for a shop project. I'm going to Google something, even though I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm curious. Intern Rosehill, that's a dangerous game you're playing. Beware. If you ask for a cup of Joe and there's no one named Joe nearby, what happens? Intern Pibble, I'm not sure what 294 would do in that set. We can put that on the testing docket as soon as we evacuate all the Joes from its radius, which is actually quite large. So no, we won't be testing that. I changed my mind. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say. Doctor, I have good ideas, you must admit. Please approve my test. It's not fair. My test would better humanity. Let me play God with these anomalies. See, there's where you lost it. Oh, let me play God with these anomalies. You are not a god. All of the anomalies we have in containment are not even gods. They are anomalies. They are objects. They are myths and figures, yes, but that's because humans are dumb and they deify things they don't understand. So no, you will not play God in the Foundation. Intern Nichols, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Base, thank you for donating again to say, good news, I got the dinosaur back into its world. Bad news, I'm trying to get Blue the dog back into her world now, and I need to look for 3 clues scattered through the entire site. God kill me now. Well, you had better skidoo if you want to get those clues for Blue. Okay, Desk, thank you in the back channels. You are correct, we will do this. First, I need to make the proper switch here. Save setting. Congratulations, Site 42, by bringing up SCP-076-2, codename Abel, so gosh darn much in this stream, you have unlocked the stream sponsorship. This stream is now sponsored by us here at Site 42. You look at this right here, you are looking at the Site 42 original I See No Gender Only Victims t-shirt, as well as sticker, available in the Site 42 Teespring store. We commissioned this design of Abel from an SCP artist, credited in the description of the piece. It is, of course, Abel's prerogative to do murder. It is so violent in this fact that it does not acknowledge a difference between men or women, because it is not interested in sex. It is only interested in murder. And of course, we stan a non-binary, asexual royal murder hobo. And so, if you would like a sticker or a t-shirt of I See No Gender Only Victims, we have a variety with only white text. We also have the variety you saw there with the non-binary flag text going across the top. I See No Gender Only Victims available in the Site 42 store. Thank you for sponsoring Site 42, and thank you for Desk for reminding me that we should sponsor ourselves. Wasn't Cain the one who killed Abel, not the other way around? I do not actually recall my Bible right now, Red Moon Boy. It's not exactly something we deal with a lot in the Foundation unless you're part of the Demonology Division, or the Thaumaturgy Division uses it from time to time. But yes, Cain did kill Abel, and I would assume that's why Abel wants vengeance. Also, technically speaking, I believe, if Desk, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, Cain and Abel are not actually the entities from the Bible in the SCP universe. I do not believe it's them, if I'm remembering correctly. Do people come here for the pen flip or stay for it? Well, anti-imperialist NPC, I will say that my pen is completely non-anomalous. It is a normal, non-anomalous, non-human pen. So whatever that does for making you want to watch it spin, that is between you and the non-anomalous pen that you're watching. Red, thank you for donating again to say, can I take SCP-682 on a walk in the park? I need you to report to medical. You seem like you must have hit your goddamn head. And by God, in this case, I'm of course referring to SCP-5991, codename Vorjesus, because you really need a moment of respite. And hey, while you're down there, maybe see what the Sons of the Swallowed are up to. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say SCP-871 and SCP-3008, please. You want me to put the infinite replicating cakes into SCP-3008? You want me to just leave the infinite replicating cakes to flood the infinite IKEA? You know there are survivors in there, right? You know people will die. And when those cakes replicate to a point where they end up spilling out of the door into our dimension and start replicating here too? Nuh-uh. No. We've got it under control. The self-replicating cakes, the Keter cakes, are being contained. So, don't worry about it. Dog Boy, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a grapefruit on your way past the commissary. At the gym I go to, there's a massive guy. Whenever he comes in, metal music starts playing. I've heard some people say something about doom. Am I safe? Well, by the fact that you have successfully sent me this message, it means that this guy blaring metal music has come in, done his workout, and left, and you left too, and you didn't die. So it seems like you're fine. How do you maintain the self-replicating cakes in containment if they are infinite? Intern Pibble, let me fill you in. SCP-871, the Keter cakes, otherwise known as the self-replicating cake, is 237 cakes that require to be eaten by a non-anomalous human being once a day. If the cake is not eaten within 24 hours, 2 cakes will spawn. And so you can see those 2 cakes turn to 4 cakes, 4 into 8. Exponentially, the world will be covered in cakes if we let that go. But it's 237 cakes. What we do is we requisition D-class personnel who have had good behavior, and those D-class are assigned to 871. And so day after day, they're assigned to eat a cake each day. They have to finish the cake, and if they finish the cake, they stay on Keter cake duty. As long as the cakes are eaten, they only replicate one version of themselves. It's when they're not eaten that they replicate 2 versions. Because the cake will replicate once a day. The question just becomes, okay, well now, do you eat it so tomorrow there will be 1 cake, or do you leave it so there will be more cakes? Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say SCP-001 codenamed The Lock and SCP-123. I am not familiar with either of those. I'll take a quick peek. Contained miniature black hole is the codename for SCP-123, so it is a sphere containing a miniature black hole, I assume. Meanwhile, SCP-001, The Lock. Quantum's Proposal. So you want to put an anomaly that we posit contains the entirety of the universe into a miniature black hole? No. 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 Nay. Nah. Nine. Nuh-uh. No way. Although that does remind me of another anomaly that I think you might be interested in just off the dome. Oh, by the way, Site42 staff, we are currently 66 minutes into this stream. So that leaves us with 24 minutes left, just to keep an eye on the time. SCP as above is the code name. No, that's not as above, as below, so above. That's different. Codename E is for eternity. That's not it. What document was this? 4192 is what I'm looking for. Please tell me it didn't get deleted. Oh no, it's still here. Good to know. This is an incredibly short SCP document. Codename SCP-4192, codename as above. Object class safe. 4192 is kept inside a quantum electrodynamic vacuum chamber placed within a high-value safe class anomalous item locker. Testing with 4192 should be limited only to research and with permission from Dr. Phoenix. 4192 refers to the nucleus of a single hydrogen atom that emits radio waves at random intervals. Extensive analysis on 4192 has shown that despite its abnormal nature, it behaves and functions properly as any nucleon or hadron would, having a positive electric charge, an elementary charge, and possessing a mass less than that of a neutron. Research on 4192's makeup has been inconclusive, as 4192 does not appear to be composed of quarks, but of something else entirely. Analysis of the radio waves generated by 4192 have been recorded at 15 to 18 megahertz in the form of cosmic background noise. Experimentation. Due to the sensitive nature of SCP-4192, the artificial intelligent conscript Goliath.aic was created specifically to handle equipment and containment as well as perform experiments pertaining to 4192. My arm's getting tired holding this, so I will just read this last bit. On January 4th, 2021, an experiment was conducted to ascertain the physical properties of 4192, head by Dr. Tartakovsky, under the supervision of Dr. Phoenix. Prior to testing, a hypodermic needle, was refined by SCP-914 and attached to a robotic arm apparatus in order to interact with 4192. During the experiment, Goliath.aic detected repulsion emanating from the atom as it breached the atomic orbital of SCP-4192, claiming the repulsion was similar to that of magnets repelling each other. Despite this observation, Goliath.aic was ordered to continue with the test and push the needle further into the atom. The experiment was immediately interrupted by an Omega-1 alert from Foundation satellites, which reported an extremely large celestial object approaching the planet. Imaging from the satellite feed depicted a tubular metal rod with a projected collision directed towards the North American continent that was expected to strike Philadelphia, the current location of Site 98. Goliath.aic immediately withdrew the needle apparatus from SCP-4192, effectuating the large object to immediately reverse in its direction until it can no longer be detected by the satellites. Following this, all testing with 4192 is currently forbidden. There are currently no plans to be made for 4192's research. Yeah. So, just like SCP-001, the lock, don't mess with it. Mentally lost, thank you for donating again to say. My bad, I meant to say memetic, not memetic. In other words, if I don't find my coffee mug, I'm going to release the living info to the world. Also, my mug was anomaly, so we already have a containment breach. Okay, well that does change the mathematics a little bit. Listen, number one, you don't threaten to release anomalies because other anomalies are happening. That's against protocol, you know better. Secondly, check in with security and they will look at footage as to where your mug ended up. Jeez. Red, thank you for donating again to say, I tried to take SCP-682 on a walk. He escaped. Send help. I am going to fire you into the sun. I told you to go to medical because obviously your head injury has addled your brains, but now you're going into the sun launcher, okay? I am arming the sun launcher. I am going onto the database, and I am telling the SCP-1543-J team to arm the sun launcher, because you are going into the sun. I hope you have sunscreen. Good luck. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say. 914096, containment problem solved. No, that's not solved at all. We already stopped organic testing in 914 because of all the bad things that happened. We're not putting fucking 096 into 914. What is wrong with my containment hazard assessment team today? What the hell is with you people this afternoon? Knights in Skyro, thank you for donating again to say, speaking of 5991, isn't it funny how vor, aka vorophilia, is slowly spreading throughout the web? Like I've seen it mentioned online more nowadays. I mean, it's always been a taboo subject that people talk about here and then. And there was the very big, I forget which Asian country it was in, but the YouTube channel Brew just talked about this. Yes, the video is called How the Internet Caught a Cannibal. And it's about a person two people, who filmed a murder and then apparently ate the person because that was their kink. The world is a scary place. But yes, a lot of conversation is being driven by that news story, to be sure. What was that title? I want to watch it. The YouTube channel is called Brew, and it's called How the Internet Caught a Cannibal. And it's very similar to a documentary that was released 5 to 10 years ago called Don't Fuck with Cats, which was about internet sleuths doing research in grainy photographs and videos to figure out who a murderer was. So, once you finish that, you can go watch the other one too. I'm just telling you, it is true crime that happened and it's really fucked up, so be aware. Mental health warning. Dr. Sherman, I installed a camera in the 1507's training grounds due to more 1507s appearing, and now I have a camera that glitches and still more 1507s. They never do it when I'm looking, though. I don't like the idea of these lawn flamingos self-replicating. They're already violent enough as is. We need requisition a cadre of D-class that we can rotate in to keep visual on the flamingos. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say it's not entirely bad. Clockwork and 096, it'll work. It won't work, or it will work and it will make things worse. And meanwhile, Red, don't worry, I released 096 to catch 682. I'm this close. I'm this close to just pressing the button that has the mimetic kill agent that stops the stream and your brains. Don't make me press the button. Dr. Sherman, what would happen if you put the Super Ball into the Clockworks? Intern Moonboy, I would be afraid that we would lose an anomaly because it would be deconstructed into simple rubber, or that it would become something even more physics bending and destructive. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, apologies, doctor, I will behave more rationally. That's more like it. Thank you. We're supposed to be professionals here at the Foundation. I'm just saying. I would like to apologize for calling you a tune yesterday. I didn't think before typing. The proper terminology is you're an hallucinatory class entity. Director of Site 433 sent me an email correcting me. Hallucinatory. I remember this from somewhere. Damn amnestics. Yes, I see. You're talking about the But a Dream hub at the very least. We're working on theories too, research, philosophical and scientific inquiries. We just given them names, tunes, hallucinatory class entities, phylum Eldritch, and so on. Oh, buddy. Site 433 certainly has a lot going on. Couldn't be me. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, perhaps a session with SCP-999? A monitored session. Monitored by security staff. No funny business. Red, thank you for donating again to say, I made a mistake. 096 escaped the facility. Please report to SCP-1534-J immediately. Or is it 43 or 34? Either way, Red, you are to report to the Sun Launcher immediately. Security will handle 096. You've done enough. Your watch has ended. It is time to rest. Maybe not in peace, but rest. But the pits of hell are open. The burning pits of hell are open, waiting for you. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. Site 42 staff, we just passed the 10 minutes remaining in stream mark. 10 minutes remaining in stream. Get your last minute questions in. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again and dropping a cognitohazard into the chat. Thankfully, Desk is adept at keeping us safe from those. But there will be consequences, and the first of which is you will not be having a session with SCP-999. You just forfeited the right. Anton Dilby. Anit and Libby. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. If SCPs don't have genders, then why is the shy guy called that? Intern base, it is a nickname. It is a colloquialism. It's just for funsies. It's not actually what we refer to it as. That is all. Back to here. Ba-ba. I see a Ko-Fi notification. Let me get that before I forget it exists. Night Since Skyro, thank you for donating again, this time to the Ko-Fi, which has a far smaller fee for the creator than YouTube Super Chat does. It is a 3% fee for a Ko-Fi versus a 30% fee for a YouTube Super Chat. So we greatly appreciate you making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. From my own knowledge of Vor, oh boy, we're here again. From my own knowledge of Vor, that is closer to cannibalism than Vor. But a few people into Vor can dip too much into the former, in a similar manner to how some furries become zoophiles. Doesn't mean a whole fandom dips into crimes. There's always the few that take it too far. You know what? This stream is almost over. We are the SCP Foundation. It is not our place to delineate the lines between Vor and cannibalism. That's not in my training. I did not go to school to delineate the difference between Vor and cannibalism. Not my expertise, not something I want to get into. I'm sure we have a department for that, and you can talk to the head of that department. Jeez Louise. Mario Mike, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a mushroom on your way past the commissary. Do Toon entities have access to hammer space? That definitely depends on the Toon entity. But I would say that that is in fact a usual attribute of hallucinatory class entities. Now, further than that, I am checking the SCP database just to see if we have ever used that as a term in research. I don't know. It's a little bit of a... Oh! In the tail terminal velocity, they use the word hammer space. Freaky Commodities 2 Freak Harder has hyperdimensional hammer space. 6549, codename Psycho Kriller by Billith, mentions an antimemetic extra-dimensional hammer space, or at least the hypothesis of one. Codename 4304, there is no honor among thieves, even when mechas are involved. Apparently, one of the mecha arms has hammer space in it. What the hell? I honestly did not expect so much hammer space in my SCP database. But here we are. So 6549 and 4304 are right there if you want to research into anomalies that feature hyperspace. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again. Doctor, this message is for Clef. Confidential, do not read, only for Clef. If you read it, memetic agent will be activated. Is he gone? Hi, Clef. Well, thank you again, Desk, for cleansing our facilities containment hazard assessment team of memetic hazards. Nice try, though, ass. And, Cliff, in response to Experiments Gone Wrong, I have here a message. Hi! Stop trying to mess with my SCPs, you idiot. Sweet Lord Jesus. You got that right, Mario Mike. You got that right. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again to say, good news, found my mug. Bad news, 049 has it. Worst news, the mug makes the holder imperceivable to any and all things, so we have an undetectable 049 somewhere in the building or outside. Great. You know, perhaps 369 Destroyer was right. Perhaps I am a tune. Perhaps I am an hallucinatory. How do you say that fucking word? Hallucinatory? Is that what it is? No, go back. What's it called? Alukanari? Is it Sonari or Kanari? How do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce that? I can't rant properly if I can't pronounce it. Latin, to wander in mind, talk idly, dream. Pronunciation. Yada yada.
Let's say it all together.
It is Cinar. It's a soft C. Good to know. A Lucinar. So, where was I? Oh yes. Maybe I am a tune. Maybe I am an hallucinatory class entity. Because apparently, I'm living in the wackadoodle universe with a containment hazard assessment team full of chuckle fucks bouncing off the walls with the worst anomalies possible. What the hell is happening? What is this place that I've ended up in? Am I dreaming? Or am I dreaming this right now? Is this all fake? What is happening? Red, thank you for donating again. Don't worry, Doctor, I just got 106 to help. Surely nothing can go wrong now. If you won't go to the Sun Launcher launch bay, I will launch the sun at you. Apparently, we live in a toon world where everything crazy happens and nothing matters. So why don't I just pull the sun down from the sky and slam it on your head for all the mistakes you have made? I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not a toon. I'm not an hallucinatory. This is real life. This is all jokes. You're all making it up to bother me. That's all. That's, You're right, Desk. You're right. If my containment hazard assessment team is going to be so off-the-wall cartoony today, I might as well do a second sponsorship. Hey, Dr. Sherman's stream today, the coffee break, which is officially over, but we're going long because you're all insane, is sponsored by us again. But this time, we're sponsored by our collaboration with Voidster Animations, who made this wonderful animation of a Site 42 short. Look here. Isn't that nice? Doesn't that look great? The camera's so dynamic. The little guy's getting squonkled by 3930. Isn't that fun? The sponsorship is that we made that. We commissioned it from the animator, so they got paid. And now we need you to go like, comment, share, and all that on that short on our channel so it boosts, so it gets more engagement, so more people see it. That way, we can afford to commission more and keep this train rolling. So thank you to ourselves for sponsoring ourselves and making SCP stuff while you all drive me within an inch of my last nerve. Dude, you got me into SCPs. Thank you. Well, Intern Blackwell, thank you so much for a nice, kind message at a time when I needed one. Remind me why I'm doing this. Thank you. And of course, you too, Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters. It reminds you why you do what you do, because when you get those likes so high above the view count, the YouTube algorithm brings us more people. And those people might not have ever heard of SCP. But they will now, damn it, because I am streaming every goddamn day to tell people about the good stuff we have on this website. Art made by humans, no AI, and that is how we do it. So thank you for your services. Knights and Skyro, thank you for donating again. Sorry earlier, my thoughts raced ahead a bit. I mean, you're fine. It's all in good fun. Ow! Author Sherman, stop it, that hurts. Hate when he talks through me. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating twice more. To say, I have noted your suggestion, Dr. Clef, but I resume. Clef just said stop. You're not going to want to make Clef angry. Clef is very bash you in the head with the ukulele or the shotgun. Watch out. And you said, my heartfelt apologies. I love your content. Oh, well, like I said to Skyro, do not worry. All in good fun. Ow, stop it. I am mad at them. You don't get to tell them that I'm not mad. I am mad. Less mad because Intern Blackwell said a nice thing at the right time to make me less mad. But still mad! Intern Anderson, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself some Cheetos on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, the Annabelle doll is chasing me. Well, I'm not familiar with the capabilities of the, quote, Annabelle doll anomaly. Haunted doll. I mean, it is just a doll, right? I mean, it can't possibly run that fast. Yeah, but I know the Chucky entity runs around with a little knife, but it's still just a tiny little doll. It shouldn't be that hard to fight. What does it do? Powers and abilities. Possesses the doll owner who is interested in it. So possession, shape-shifting, soul absorption, soul manipulation, telekinesis, shadow mimicry, teleportation, and immortality. Oh. So you're fucked. I wonder what our living doll situation is on site. I haven't considered the living doll that we have in containment recently. Well, suffice it to say, I mean, good luck. Yeah, it sounds like you should focus less on typing and more on running. Red, thank you for donating again. It's too late, I accidentally broke the sun. Attention, all Foundation staff members in the universe that the intern Red resides within. Apparently day has broken because, well, Red broke the sun. For those of you who aren't already flesh monsters, stay out of the light, and good luck. Terragal, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Get yourself a toaster strudel on your way past the commissary. Hey, Doctor, I think someone gave 049 my interdimensional teleportation device, as I can't find it, but it appears to be an imperceivable being's hands. And 049 just became imperceivable thanks to the coffee mug from Mentally Lost. Yes, I'm seeing the chain of logic here. I'm seeing all the futures and all the terrible things you people have wrought with your incompetence. Thank you. Intern Matthew, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Jell-O on your way past the commissary. Yo, I found a comedy mask crying ink. Is that good? No. Leave it alone. Don't talk to it. Desk is also highlighting a tale on the database called The Death of Alto Clef, a.k.a. Agent Ukulele, a.k.a. Adam Ben Yahweh, a.k.a. Lucifer, First of the Fallen, a.k.a. That Bastard, etc. And that is a tale on the database that Desk has linked. For more, the sun is broken goodness in your day. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again. Good night, Doctor. Have a blessed day. Don't launch me. Well, good night. Experiment's gone wrong. Don't do anything else stupid. And we might reconsider your sun launch ability. Red, thank you for donating again to say, don't worry, I can fix this. I just press SCP-001-J. We're all saved. The button. You pressed the button. The button that we contain and tell nobody to press. You pressed the button. I'm going to have to think of something worse than the sun launcher for you now. Just you wait. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to ask. Wait, before I sleep, I want to ask if Dr. Clef was the creator of the character Clef. So our moderator, the Desk of Alto Clef, is not the author of Alto Clef. Just Alto Clef's #1 fan and #1 cosplayer performer. The author of Dr. Clef goes by Clef or Chowder on the wiki. Different person. Okay, Site 42 staff, we are currently 10 minutes over the end of stream because of your, not all of you, but some of your tomfoolery, your skullduggery, your shenaniganery, your chicanery. I have things to do, and so we are going to the outro. And as always, at the end of stream, sound check, sound check. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, good. Sorry. Slight hacking incident. We talked about 079 earlier. It hurt us. It happens. We've cleared it. As I was saying during the outro, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over from those SCPs, there's some links. Links a lot of people ask about, but they're just not determined enough to find. It's very sad. But that's how that's why they don't get promoted. You gotta be determined to work your way up at the Foundation. And you guys, Mobile Task Force Sci-42, I know you're the type who will find those links. While you're at those exclusive links, you'll be able to become a Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us once at a time. Either way, we appreciate your direct donations. They are the quickest way to keep Site42's lights on, and we appreciate your generosity. Furthermore, if you are part of the broke gang and you cannot donate, don't worry, because if we are here streaming, if you are here chatting, if you are liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that YouTube business, then as well for us, as well as the YouTube SCP content creators we support, the SCP game developers we support, the SCP merch makers we support, the animators, as well as the SCP Wiki and its authors and artists themselves, then you are a valued and honored member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, and between those with the generosity of finance and those with the generosity of engagement, we will be able to get more SCP projects, bigger and better SCP projects in the world. The more people we bring into the community, the stronger we become, and that's thanks to you, Mobile Task Force Sci-42, so thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed, round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 8980. Content warning on the last one is a rough read. Site-42 staff, this has been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation, and this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I have a couple last-minute donations before our final outro. First of all, Brandon Anderson, thank you for donating again. You didn't send a message this time, so simply thank you for your generosity. Red, thank you for donating again to say, can I take SCP-1471, codename Mallow, version 1.0.0 on a date? Let alone the fact that we do not fraternize with the anomalies, that is standard policy here at the Foundation. The Mallow entity is incorporeal, intangible. You can't touch it, let alone fraternize with it. What are you even planning? Anyways, Site-42 staff, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be sure to check out the sponsored t-shirt we have in our Teespring store, as well as the animated short in collaboration with Voice Through Animations, who wants to make their own SCP animated series, and we are helping them to do that with financial commissions as well as your engagement. So thank you for your support for the SCP community. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. She calls out to the man on the street. Sir, can you help me? It's cold and I got nowhere to sleep. Is there somewhere you can tell me? He walks on, doesn't look back. He pretends he can't hear her. Starts to whistle as he crosses the street. Seems embarrassed to be there. Oh, think twice, 'cause it's another day for you and me in paradise. Oh, think twice, it's just another day for you, me in paradise. The credit song is Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff. Secure, contain, protect.